Welcome to Camp Cookout Adventures. Join me on my first night hammock camping. What could go wrong? Ooh. It's Camp Cookout Adventures. It's Camp Cookout Adventures. Hello everyone, so nice to see you again. We are trudging our way through some of the finest Cornish farmland around in stunning sunny weather. We're on the south coast in mid-Cornwall today, and we are on our way to a Bluebell Wood so that we can set up our hammock camp for the night and have a bit of a cookout. We're about an hour and a half before sunset, and it is just absolutely stunning. You hear the birds? Oh, handsome. Right, let's go find our spot. Now we found this absolutely gorgeous Bluebell Glen, which is just going to make such an amazing camping experience tonight. Right everyone, tonight I'm super excited because it's going to be my first hammock camp. I've gone with a budget option because I have no experience in hammock camping or whether I'm even going to like it or not. So this is the DD Camping Hammock. It's brand new, it came today in the post, and I have no idea how to set it up. But I'm in a beautiful bluebell glade with loads of trees about, with good spacing as well, and they look nice and strong, so I'm sure I'm going to be able to find a spot where I can set this thing up. This hammock was £27 delivered, and it has a weight rating of 120 kilos, so I think I'll be absolutely fine in this one. I'm going to start getting my gear unpacked. We've also got a delicious meal planned of belly pork ramen, and we're going to cook that up on our lovely Trangia 27 cook set. So we're in for a really good time. Let's have at it. So I've scouted around and have found a couple of trees what I think is the right distance apart to try and set up this hammock. Okay, so as you can see, the spacing looks pretty good on that now. However, the height isn't. So I'm going to retie that end and show you how I'm going to do it. So I need to get this end higher. We're just using a shoelace knot, so it's easy to untie. We've got our 2 lengths of cord from either side of our hammock. We're going to loop around the branch that we've chosen and cross it over, and then we can cross it over again, and over here it's just a shoelace knot. 2 loops wrapped around and pulled tight. Right, that seems to be strong to me. Haha, one hammock. Let's give it a go. Woo. Right, I think try and park the butt in the middle of it, and then a little. Oh, 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 oh yeah. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's very nice. Yeah, we're going to give that a go. How's my boots looking? I don't want to get anything in the hammock straight away. They look pretty clean. Okay, so let the sides come up like that. Very cozy. Like a big cocoon. Cool. Oh, now that's set up, let's get some dinner on the go. I'm absolutely Hank Marvin starving. Ta-da! I'm going to have to bust into a little snack before I start cooking. I do not trust the Cornish weather forecast, so I'm going to have to rig up a tarp above my hammock just because I don't want to get caught in the middle of the night by a shower. I think that the hammock is shower proof, but I don't want to risk it. So I'm going to enjoy a little bit of jerky, and then we'll get on setting up that tarp over the top of our hammock. And then we can start cooking. Oh yeah. I've brought with me tonight a basic 3 meters by 3 meters tarp with eyes sewed in the side, and I've got two different types of cordage. I've got your standard paracord, and then I've also brought some, essentially is builder's twine. Now the reason I brought the two different types is because with the paracord I'm going to loop through the canopy of the trees to create two tight lines which are going to overlap where my hammock's going to go, and then I'm going to create some loops out of this standard rope to feed through the eyes of the tarp and then also around the two lines of paracord, and then I can pull them tight and position my tarp exactly where I want to, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, so first of all, with my paracord, I've got a loose end here. I'm just going to tie a loop into the end of it. I love a loop in the end of a line, so useful. So just like that, one loop. We're going to go around the outside of a branch and then loop our paracord back in on itself to create that cinch, that noose. This knot I'm about to show you is called a trucker's hitch. It's incredibly useful. So we have our loose end in our right hand, and with our left hand, loosen it back a little bit, put a little twist in it so that you can create a loop. See that loop? And then with your finger, put your finger through the loop and pull a bit of the line further back through, and you've created this. See that? Now with your loose end this side, feed it through that loop you've just made in the tight side, pull all the slack through, and then tighten it up. So we can just pull it tight and it'll stay there. Boing, just like that. Tremendous. Now next step, out of the string line, I just want to create a load of little loops. So then I'm going to create a little loop like that. Get my trusty strong arm, cut that off, grab the two ends, tie a knot in it, simply to create a big loop. Now what we're going to do here, which is really cool, we're going to drape it over one of our lines like that, and on the inside of the loop we're just going to keep wrapping it round. So wrap it round again, wrap it round again, and one more for good luck, wrap it round again. Now we're going to pull that through the loop itself till it tightens up just like that. Now what we've created is a loop off of that line. We're going to feed this bit through one of the eyes of the corner of the tarp and then poke a stick through, and then we're able to move this along where we want it, along these sidelines, till we get the tarp nice and tight. Okay, so we've got our camp set up. I've got my tarp set up over the top. It's given me plenty of coverage for tonight. It's going to be nice and cozy under there in case it does start raining, but fingers crossed it won't. I am getting so hungry, it's not even a joke. It's time for us to finally set up our Trangia and get cooking our belly pork ramen. Now then, tonight's menu, we've got some lovely pieces of belly pork here, one of my favourite meats. We've got one of my favourite ramens, which is the Shin Black ramen. And we have this little lunchbox here with a bit of a hack inside that I've found. As I go off camping, I'm finding that I'm saving all the little jars and bottles from the condiments and shopping that we buy, washing them up and storing the ingredients that I want to take with me camping. Where I actually went and had a bit of a brainwave, popped onto Amazon and found these little tiny little pots, and these are actually cosmetic pots. They come in about a pack of 30 for about £7, and I can confirm that they are liquid tight. So if you go off on a camping trip and you don't want to hike around a load of ingredients in big bottles and constantly have to keep washing stuff all the time, have a go of these. First things first, we got to get this water boiling. So I'm going to flick my Trangia clips in the windshield in. Get the larger of the two saucepans, whack that straight over our lovely little flame, and then get some water boiling. Pop my frying pan over the top of that to help it boil faster. Okay, so our water is boiling. I'm going to get a few slices of this delicious belly pork, and I'm just going to pop it in that boiling water, and this is how I'm going to actually cook it. Just going to let it bubble away nicely for a little while, and that's going to cook up that belly pork nice and tender and also keep it beautifully moist. Whack that back on top. We'll check up on her again in about 15 minutes time. Lush! So while our pork is bubbling away beautifully, we're going to prep some stuff over here. Slice up some of these lovely green onions. Whoa, looks gorgeous. Don't fancy cooking my noodles in that fatty and slightly scummy water from that belly pork, so we're just going to get rid of that. What a lovely little flame, keeping us company. Get our saucepan back on there, and now more water. We can start cooking our nudes. So we've got our Shin Black packet. I'm not going to pop the noodles in quite yet, but I am going to put in our soup sachet and our dried vegetables. Even brought chopsticks for tonight. Keeping it authentic. Lovely. There we go, here's your hat, mate. And in this little pot here is honey mixed with red pepper paste. We're going to slather that all over that belly pork, which is going to give it a wonderful sweet and barbecuey flavour. So our frying pan is on. We have sesame oil. So whack that in our pan. Healthy amount of that. I'm going to save a little bit more of this for later. Oh, flambe! Now the belly pork is properly cooked, so all we're doing is we're toasting the outside to get it nice and crispy. Belly pork has got to be crispy. Right, that is literally all that needs to crispen up the outside. Do you see that? Then get that on there. Now in our bowl we've got our chopped green onions with some minced garlic, because you can never have too much garlic. But at least I won't have to worry about vampires. In here we have a little bit of Chinese 5 spice. Just want a tiny bit of this, it's very strong. Definitely want some chilies in there for a bit of extra spice. This liquid is mirin wine. It's very sweet, lush. A bit more of our sesame oil. Now normally I have ramen with ramen eggs, which are soft boiled eggs, which you then cool in ice water, peel them, and then in a Ziploc bag you mix half a cup of soy sauce with half a cup of mirin, mix that liquid together and submerge your soft boiled eggs within that, leave it in the fridge for anywhere between an hour to 2 days. And what that does is it stains and soaks that beautiful soft boiled egg in those lovely umami flavors. It sweetens them, and it also gives them a salty, delicious texture. And that we usually slice those in half and top our ramen with. But today I'm not going to do that. I've just got a couple of eggs, some golden yolkers, only the best, which I'm going to crack right into our soup and noodle stock. I'm just going to mix it in. I'm going to stir it all up, lovely. Mixed in with all those noodles and all of that soup. Magic. We are getting so close now I can almost taste it. So grabbing our belly pork, just going to slice this up into chunks. In our bowl goes our little tiny bit of soup stock that's left, and our noodles. Smash that belly pork all over it. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. It looks good enough to eat, doesn't it? Come on, let's tuck in. Cheers, everybody. Oh. So good. I love belly pork. Got moths joining me. It's spicy, it's garlicky, it's fatty, it's salty, it's delicious. Well, that was much needed. I feel fantastic, very fat and full now, but I'm left with a little bit of devastation which I'm going to have to clean up. So it's time to do some housekeeping. That's my sleeping mat in there. Tuckered in. There we are. Nice cup of coffee. And of course, for a little bit of pudding, we've got some milk chocolate oaty biscuits for dippings. Filthy stuff. Kind of brutal to think about that you can gun 100 calories into you in 2 bites. Ooh. Now for the dodgy bit. Got my air mat in here, but I'm not sure if it's making it a little bit less stable. Right. It's gonna go like that. Oh, it's gonna take some messing about getting yourself comfy, I tell you. Ooh. I'll tell you this, the sleeping mat inside the hammock did not work. I was spinning around like I don't know what, like a fly dangling from a spider web trying to escape. So I've put that underneath the hammock in case for any reason one of the sides decides to undo and I go splat on the floor, at least it'll be a soft landing. So this is certainly an experience. I don't know whether I prefer it over a tent. We shall see how well I sleep. I do like the fact that there's this slight rocking motion which is going to be hopefully a bit soothing and will help me sleep. But until I get super sleepy, I'm going to read a Christmas present that I got from my lovely lady. This is a graphic novel of The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. It's mega cool. It's set out in the Japanese format, so you read from the opposite way than we do in Western culture, from the back of the book to the front. But it tells the story of the Ocarina of Time in the form of a graphic novel comic, all with the 90s original artwork style that it was done in. It looks fantastic. So I'm going to do a little bit of reading like it was just back in the 90s. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, I hope. Let's see how well I get some sleep. Good night. Good morning. The cocoon has hatched. Well, that was actually a cracking night. It was really good. A couple of things to note though. Because your sleeping bag is compressed underneath you, it actually gets a little bit chilly. I might have to upgrade my sleeping bag if I'm going to be using this hammock again.
It was very comfortable. The little gentle swaying was very, very nice. It's time to get out. It's a stunning morning. It's beautiful hearing that dawn chorus from all the birds. They are singing like little beauties. It's a clear day by the looks of things, and I think we've got a little bit of a sunrise to see. So let's go check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in for another episode of Camp Cookout Adventures. I've had a tremendous night camping in that hammock for the first time. I highly recommend it. It's a load of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that hangout and the cookout as well. I really hope to see you again. So please make sure that you hit up that subscribe button and the notifications. Cheers.